Hi everyone, Maddie Shepard of the Deeper Learning Resource Teacher Team, here to talk to you about what PBL is and is not in 5 minutes or less. I'll do my best. Timer started. So traditionally, when we think about projects, we think about a series of learning experiences where the project is at the end. We might have some mini lessons, a benchmark formative assessment, more mini lessons where there's some group work and a lab, or we have a guest speaker, we have a test. That's where I, as the teacher, gather everything I need to know about learning. And then we have a project at the end, the dessert, if you will. The project might be awesome, and the kids might demonstrate lots of learning. But because the project didn't encompass the entire learning experience, it's really removed. This is what we on the Deeper Learning team call the stop, drop, and PBL, because the project is a separate entity from the learning experience. We don't want to do this. Instead, what we want to do is project-based learning, or PBL, where all of the learning experiences are encompassed within the project experience. So think about it like this. We've got a project launch where we kick it off. We have a really cool, engaging event to get the kids interested. We share our guiding question that really encompasses what we're going to be learning about and roots the kids in inquiry. And then we have a series of lessons and learning experiences where learners gain content knowledge they need to craft their final product that demonstrates their learning, to gain skills in order to demonstrate that product, or to work with groups to work on some of those collaborative assignments and experiences. So as you can see on this graphic, a big difference is that rather than the project coming at the end, the entire learning experience is part of the PBL. The workshops, the lessons, the benchmark assessments, all of it is encompassed within that PBL process. Now, what are some common components of PBL? Glad you asked. Those are essential competencies, skills, or standards. When we plan a PBL, we always have to start with standards. Again, it's not separate from the learning that kids have to do or the standards that we have to teach. Project-based learning is an instructional structure. It's a way to package and design your units. So we always start with standards. Community partnerships are a big part of project or PBL as well, because the community partnerships build relationships outside the school. They authenticate the learning, because all of our standards are standards because kids need them for the real world. The real world, i.e. community partners, need to be a part of the PBL experience too. The learning has to be made public. There should be a product that's shared with an authentic audience outside the classroom, or a public demonstration. I talked about earlier that the PBL always begins with a guiding question that helps to root the learners in inquiry, and it helps, if we come back to this guiding question often, it helps focus us on the learning. Kids have to have voice and choice, either in where they put their focus in the PBL, their process, or how they demonstrate learning. Those are just a few examples. That's not an all-inclusive list. We want to make sure that inquiry is a part of the PBL from start to finish, that kids are researching, seeking information, and using that information and that skill acquisition to build towards the final demonstration of learning or the product they're working on. Of course, it's got to be authentic to the kids. It's got to matter to them and be authentic to the context. And there's got to be lots of cycles of feedback and revision, where kids are having formative assessments often and getting feedback, submitting parts of their product for feedback, so that cycle is continuous and rapid. Think about the difference between a written driving test and the actual driving test. We want to go more towards PBL because it's performative, it's authentic, and it really matters to the kids. And that, my friends, is project-based learning in a nutshell in less than 5 minutes.